I had to go right back into draining. Oh yeah, this is a new version. Yeah, hi, in this video, we're going to be doing a bunch of draining of an ocean monument because that is entertaining content, and it's something that I have to do. Past me was wild. He thought I was just going to use sand to fill all of this in. Yeah, I don't feel like draining 3 entire deserts. I'm using some machinery to speed this up. Yeah, apparently you have to use sand walls so that way the thing actually drains. Apparently you have to use sand walls so the thing actually drains, which that's a bit of a minor complication of my plan because if I have to set up sand walls, that means I have to go get more sand, and I hate getting sand. This is awful. I'm gonna build a sand duper eventually. Maybe I'll just do 100 days of AFK. That sounds like a good video. Yeah, by the end of this, I'm gonna have drained like 3 different deserts. It's going to be a massacre on the environment. So a Guardian ended up getting on my boat on the ice road, which means now he's near the portal to my base. So I'm gonna try and put him in the collection system display thingamabob. But yeah, this took a while because you have to set up walls and make sure villagers aren't getting in it because of course the villagers are getting in it. It's just tons of fun. Gotta run through the path to make sure everything's set up and the Guardian isn't gonna try and escape on me. But I think it will go well. It's probably fine. I'm not going to describe the pain I had to go into, but now he is in the cage. He keeps trying to shoot me, but if he does, he's going to end up dying because he kept falling and just taking ridiculous amounts of fall damage. And it was just absolutely awful. He is barely alive, so if he escapes again, that's going to be a problem. Well, I got a bat for later. Oh yeah, and the Guardian escaped, so that was a bit of a pain to deal with. I don't know how he got out, but he ended up getting into the amethyst shield that sits next to my storage system. I really don't know what to do about this, so I'm just gonna leave him there. I'll get him in there tomorrow. The machines have arrived, and they are beautifully working. They work perfectly in every aspect. They drain the water so much more efficiently. I just need a squadron of them now. Some pillagers ended up spawning, so I killed them and then went to my base with the bad omen effect and knew I was running out of storage space, so I had to stop recording for a little bit. So I just logged out the second the raid was about to start at my base. Why do I do this to myself? You know, going right back to a raid after stopping recording for about 24 hours is a very strange thing to be doing. And all my villagers are dead, but the next project after finishing the Guardian farm is immediately going on to building a new villager area. I also captured a Ravager in the Nether for later, so yeah, he's gonna get added to the storage system. For some reason, he was peaceful for a while. I don't know what he was locked onto. But, yeah, I got him into the Nether because he wasn't really trying to attack me. It was incredibly strange. Anyway, time to use machinery to destroy the environment. I mean, really, machinery for this type of thing is great. It's so much more efficient, and it's just awesome to have. So, if you're going to drain it, I recommend using some form of machinery. And I also recommend not keeping the ocean monument because you can rebuild that, but I'm not going to rebuild that because I'm too lazy. I did end up actually clearing out the first area today, which means we're making good progress. If I was just doing the normal draining method, I would not have drained anything by this point. So we are doing much better than we would be. The only issue is that taking down sand takes a while, but there's not really too much I can do about that. So I found the efficient way is to just put a rail under it, since water won't get rid of rails like it would torches, and just let it fall, and then replace it, which I guess that's the most efficient, but I'd rather do that than just place sand. I tried to capture some Guardians today to keep them in a hole so that way there would be a spawn cap. I need way more Guardians, and this is incredibly painful, because every time I'm trying to place some sand, they keep trying to kill me. It really does show you how inefficient the old method I was using. Like right now it is way quicker just draining and rather than just grabbing a bunch of sand, considering that grabbing a bunch of sand just takes forever. I swear I'll start doing something interesting soon. I just got to get through the boring stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. I literally can't stop because I can't start the next project without more sea lanterns. And it literally doesn't matter where I am. Somehow a wandering trader ends up finding me. I tried to hit him over the wall to see him fall, but I wasn't able to. 2-for-1 deal. I speedran both. Alright, there's a new project coming very soon. Hold on. This is a repeating cycle. There's not much to talk about. I realized that if I got more slime blocks, I could build more of the machines and speed this up tenfold. So after this row, I think I'm going to start working on a slime farm. This is more going to become the 100 Days of Grinding series since I can't really do anything else. I have to do this to start other projects. Something new tomorrow, I swear. Alright, so you may be wondering, what is this new project? Well, I need slime because I want to increase the amount of flying machines that I'm going to have going out draining the area. So I thought the easiest way to do this was basically just go dig out a slime chunk instead of waiting for slimes to spawn and the chunks I already had dug out. I mean, it's not super entertaining, it is just digging, but it has to be done, I guess. I truly am digging a massive hole so that way I can fill it with slime. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of digging. I put in the platforms today, which means we're very close to being done. I think all I have to do now is just put in the kill chamber and the area that's going to basically spit out all of the slime balls, and we're done. Alright, I put in the water system. Now I literally just have to route everything going into the right pipelines and gets dispensed into the sorting system, and I'm done. For the transport system that was going to bring all the slime balls up into the storage system, I built it in the same spot wrong 3 times. I don't know how I'm this dumb, but I eventually ended up fixing it. I then immediately got everything hooked up, so now there's no real problem and everything is dealt with, which is kind of nice not to worry about. I then took a small break to destroy a small forest, so that way I may have the ability to have more wood to actually finish my storage system. And after getting some of that wood, I decided that I was just going to do a little bit of cleaning and tidying up around the base. Yeah, no more fun though, we gotta go back to draining. And I'll tell you, it's a great time trying to drain this while being harassed by guardians. You know, this video is going to take longer than I thought because I just cannot come up with any interesting commentary about this. I mean, really, it's the same task over and over and over again, but I have to do it to do anything else, so yeah. Sometimes I end up building them on the wrong layer and have to build the flying machine again, but that's not super interesting. I mean, at this rate, I have far more sea lanterns than I reckon I'll actually use the farm with between killing all the guardians that keep getting in my way. Finally, I've entered around the ocean monument. I'm actually finally touching it, which took way too long considering the other things have been just the outside of the ocean monument, not even close to the actual ocean monument. The longest part of this process is just moving the big sand walls. Everything else I have done. It's not that hard to set up and they're pretty easy to take down. The problem is I keep designing new bases that I have nothing to do with, and I can't use those bases because I already have bases, and then I keep building new bases. So this is my announcement to say I might be designing another new base. So yeah, I think I lied. What did I lie about exactly? Well, saying that this new base was going to be my permanent base, because I'm designing more bases as it goes on, and I'm now realizing the location I picked for my base is not ideal for literally anything that I possibly am ever going to need to do. So I'm going to go design a brand new base because it's going to be massive. I mean, that's not going to be done for a very long time considering the fact of how many resources are actually needed for it. I am not going to build this thing until I have all the resources I need. And yes, I am going to move my auto sorter for another time because I just feel like it. And also I know there's an iron farm around there that actually works. So yeah, I'm going to move the entire thing back to spawn. And the pillagers, for some reason, will not stop harassing me. The only problem being that the resources are some of the most difficult and grindy resources to possibly get. After this video, I might have an announcement at the end. I'm not sure. You'll have to see. No skipping. You know, from what I've learned, at this part in the recording session, it is way easier to make commentary about things that aren't what I'm actually doing, and processes and things that I think I'm going to probably do. Even if I don't end up doing them, I made commentary about them, so it's either kind of a promise that you can hold against me, or just commentary so you don't get bored. Because I'm near the ocean monument, it definitely makes draining a little bit weirder, because I have to go in and manually use sponges, because if I put a flying machine, there's so many things it can just stuck on, so I just have to do it manually, and it's kind of a pain. I'm glad that I'm going to be able to kill so many guardians as a good revenge for them just completely annoying me the entire time I've been trying to drain this thing. You know, maybe I should go stream some of this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stream something entertaining because this is not entertaining to do, but maybe it'll help with the fact that I'm completely alone while doing this. I tried to set it up so I could drop sand and didn't have to deal with the guardians. This does not work at all because I keep falling, so yeah, I gotta do something else about it. Yeah, but draining this, I'm almost done. There's something interesting. It's coming eventually. The only problem is every time I want to stop, I realize, oh yeah, I have to drain more so I can get this stupid project done. And I'm only halfway done. Why is it taking so long? Luckily I got done with the longer end, so I don't really have to worry about that, but I still got more to do. Yes, I'm moving my base back to 0-0. It was so much better there. Everything went there, it spawned there, there was an environment there I was familiar with. Why did I end up moving? Well, it's still a little bit of a challenge to make commentary about literally placing dirt and stone just to cover up the old area. It is way more fun to actually play. The Guardian Farm is some of the most boring things I've ever done in this world. This is also an interesting project considering the fact that I have never built an artificial cliff before, so I'm curious to see how this is going to end up looking. Today was repair day. All my tools are nearly broken, so I gotta take a day to do this. If I'm gonna be building the project that I want, I'm gonna have to extend the area near 0, because this is gonna have to be a very large base for the entire structure, considering the fact that what I'm building also has to like go into itself and also go upward. But yeah, cleaning up is not super fun, but I'd rather be doing this than the Guardian Farm. I'm making tons of trapdoors, and if you've played Minecraft for long enough, you know exactly what I'm gonna start building. I realized how close I am to the end of these 100 days, so back to fun. I'm going to do a quick summary of the entire thing I've done in these 100 days. Alright, so, drained an ocean monument, placed some dirt. That's it. Wow, glad I've been productive. Because of the going extinct guardian population, I'm putting the sand walls in first, so that way when I go to finish off the walls, I am able to do it without all the guardians harassing me. If I ever need to go somewhere that there are a bunch of pillagers spawning, I can always go here because they seem to always show up for no apparent reason and just stare me down. I don't really interact with them because I don't want to deal with a raid, but they do still stare me down. The Guardians really do a number on your armor, so I had to go and repair it today. Can you imagine how entertaining 800 days is going to be? I'm not going to be doing this. There's going to be so much more going on. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to start all the new big projects. The base and everything else new is probably going to end up being started in 800 days because right now I just don't have the time. I'm going to finish this Guardian project and that's probably going to run me out till day 700. We are really close to almost being done. We just got to finish up this last wall and then I think I can start draining. The problem is I really have to scavenge for sand at the very end, so I have to destroy every wall previous if I'm going to be able to set them all up at the same time. I will say it's really exciting that I'm actually almost done with this project because it has been a pain and I never want to deal with anything like this ever again. Here we see the Guardians roaming the nether wastes, looking for something to attack. There is literally nothing out here because they are completely blind. It's still not entertaining. Alright, the outside is done being drained, but we're not done yet because I still got to finish up the inside. Draining this is somehow one of the most dangerous things I've ended up doing in these 100 days. I have gotten really close to dying several times, and then I completely gutted the entire thing because I got to put a Guardian Farm in here. Yeah, gutting it's a bit annoying though because it takes up so much durability. I did set up a beacon so it's way faster now, but the gutting part is still going to take a while. Okay, I lied. Gutting did not take that long. I gotta finish today. Now it's time to actually build the farm, and I don't have a design for this, so it could work or it could be absolute trash. I ended up having to go get some soul sand, so that way I was able to build bubble elevators, so the Guardians wouldn't just all pool at the bottom of the elevator. If they go up, they'll actually swim into a water stream and end up where I want them, instead of just sitting right at the bottom not dying. Okay, so I made a minor mistake. You might notice in this clip there are a bunch of Guardians flopping around. Well, you see, I flew away to check if the farm worked, and it did. I just forgot to put a cover on the other side, so now there's a bunch of Guardians annoying me. Great. Well, the farm works now, so it's just time to start cleaning up the area around it. Now I get to clean up and decorate the area, and while I'm doing that, the Guardian Farm is running. Now, I have an interesting design for the outside of my base. Unlike the normal glass domes that most people seem to do, instead, I think I have something a little bit more creative. First, I wanted to set up a museum-type area that kind of looked like I was displaying the stuff that I used to drain the sinkhole. Now, this is where I thrive. I'm able to just build. There's no, like, I have to go gather more resources. No, it's just stone and dirt, and I'm able to build whatever I want, however I want it. It is great. I built this nice little fishing shack, which is honestly one of the best things that I think I've ever built. And I made a nice little fishing pond to go with it, so if I actually do ever want to fish here, it is possible. I also realized I'm going to have to do the outside and probably make it look somewhat nice. That's going to be a pain. Quick flying trip. The footage corrupted, so I don't actually have the footage of me at the mushroom island, which was what I was going for. I did end up getting mushroom blocks and some stems, but I don't have the footage for it, so you're just going to have to use your imagination. Now, construction is mildly annoying just because mobs keep spawning outside, which means I have to go on the light up force. I have to make everything nice and bright. I don't care if it burns my eyes, it just has to be bright. My idea was to make kind of a Death Valley type thing in this part leading up to the entrance. I wanted to add like smoke, lava, stuff like that, just to make it look like this is a bit more of a dangerous type area. Adding in Corster and a couple of soul lanterns really did help sell the feel of this Death Valley dark type area. So if you ever need like a dark area but still kind of lit up, I suggest using soul lanterns. That concludes another 100 days. I'll be back in the next 100 days because I have two major things I gotta start and both finish. So that's for me to do in the next 100 days. Have fun in 800 days. Bye bye.